of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Nice, peace and blessings be within about your presence. This is Holy-Apostle Deen with an I.H.A.D moment for you. I would like to say welcome to the show. Today I have a group of people here who will not be on camera, but you'll hear their voices. I'm engaging them in conversation in regards to the path of the way, and I want to base it on children. Well, I want to base it on the experiences that people have throughout the years in their traveling to trying to be right with Allah. I had some thoughts this morning about people that I've known and how they have gone through years of training and they haven't been successful in achieving the goals they need to be right with Ahezaah, and how their children have suffered for it, you know, and it's I've talked to tens of thousands of people throughout these years, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. I haven't kept count, and I only have a few people with me that is generally congregating with me and seeking my advice directly. But I guess that's a normal thing when it comes to people like myself. But I've seen people suffer in the duration of time because they haven't listened and taken heed to Ahezaah's message through the messenger. And they've taken Ahezaah for granted. And I would assume that a lot of that is because of their environment and the people that they're accustomed to and what they inherited from our forefathers. So with that said, I just tell you that hopefully it'd be a good offering to you, because that's what I'm doing, making an offering. Anyone have anything to add, to say, question? Okay. I see some of the children that grew up in this community. I mean, some from birth, and their parents weren't right. Their parents still aren't right in terms of faith, trust, and honoring Allah. And Allah gave me a thought. It said to me that let the sister get that. And it said to me that it gave me a scenario. And in that scenario, it said that a person was saying to another person, I got the word from the Lord, and I'm going to do the best that I can. And the brother asked him, said, well, what you going to do? He said, I'm going to do my thing. I said, what about the Lord? He said, I'm going to do the best that I can. I got the message from the Lord, but I'm going to do the best that I can. And in that, the Lord was indicating to me that people in general want to do things without the Lord, minus the Lord. They say the Lord's name, they say with the name of Allah or what have you, but then they go about their business doing things the best they can from themselves and X the Lord out. And the Lord said to me, what is the best that you could do without me? What's the best that you could do without me? What would your answer be?
No.
It's something.
But the best wouldn't be, because the Lord is the best.
The best that you could do without the Lord is evil.
Okay.
Evil. Because anything minus the Lord L is evil. So without having the Lord in charge, the Lord in front, the Lord in his proper order, in your mind, in your perception, you're doing evil. You're doing evil. Now, I looked at people in our community, and many years ago, I said, wow, they can't see where they're headed. And because I had been so, been emotionally involved with people before, I learned to not get emotionally involved with what I seen. But I knew what was coming. I could see it down the road. And then I wait until that time period come, which has been like 10, 15, 20 years. And here it is, and people suffering for what they've done 20 years ago when it started. I was having a discussion with Holy Queen Mother about a situation, and she said to me, well, these people are not on the same page. And I said, no, they're on the same page. She said, no, they're on different pages and they're going in different directions. I said, no. They're on the same page. They've always been on the same page. They've been on the wrong page. They haven't been right with Allah. And now, since they haven't heeded the warnings of Allah through the years for being on the wrong page, the script has changed. The roles have changed. They're on the same page. Now they're against each other on that same page. Still playing that role in the wrong way, going in the wrong direction for being on the wrong page, maybe in the wrong book altogether. Now, many of our children, and I say our children, and I mean that. I have 1, 2, 3. I have, I can't count my older children, so I'll say I have 3, because my older children was gone astray, or they just refused, altogether. My oldest son, he refused, but he acted like he was with us, So that, I say I have 2 that is off, really off. It don't matter what your appearance is. Many of the people judge people by their appearance. Back in the day, we would say, don't judge the book by its cover. But the thing about Allah and His mercy is that Allah put the onus, the responsibility on you. It don't matter what your cover is. You are under your cover with the reality of you. So it don't matter if you trick Tom, Dick, or Harry, because it ain't about Tom, Dick, or Harry, as we used to say in the old days. I guess if I keep talking, saying these things, you're going to say, oh, how old is this dude? But it's all about you. What you get under that cover. When you go to the throne of Allah, you're not taking Tom, Dick, or Harry, or nobody else that you've tricked in life about what you really are. You're only taking yourself. And you're not taking yourself, you're being brought to the throne. So you will have no choice in the matter. Because if it was left up to you to take yourself, nobody would go to the throne of Allah. Because they know. Except the fools who think they perfect and right. So the onus is on us as a people. And it's been on us as a people. And the people that's in the community of A.H.A.D that's been here for 10, 15, 20 years or more, 30 years, they have no excuse to put up to me to say, well, you know, my children are failing because, you know, this, that, and the other. Something aside from themselves going astray or being astray and not raising them properly. You know, if you wait and you observe people with children and you be with them before those children are born or when them children are very young, in the toddler stage and what have you. You remember that old saying, you know a person by the fruit they bear? You know everybody by their children. You know everybody by their children, if you observe their children. You say, man, my son ain't this, he ain't that, he this, that, and the other, he bad, my boy, my daughter, this, that, I can't stay, they won't submit to Allah. Why? They're yours. Why? Because something in you wasn't right. Not them. You know a person by the fruit they bear. I got my older children, my two older children, I believe. I know the oldest eating hog like it ain't no tomorrow from what I was told. They don't do it in front of my face because they know that I'm totally against that. Drink alcohol like it's going out of style. They live in life of the world. I had one whose husband said he didn't think I liked him because I never came around. And I told him I don't mess with my older children's business. You know, and I had to explain to my children, hey, I don't come around your place because you live life on a path different from mine. And if I come around and I see you doing the things that you do, I'm going to have to say something. It's just in me as a parent to say something. And I know that you grown and you feel like I can't tell you nothing. You weren't raised on the path of the way because your mothers refused to keep you on the path of the way. I made the mistake for getting involved when I was a child, a teenager. Not listening to my mother who told me don't do it. But listening to the brothers in the hood say, oh, you a faggot, man. You scared to get a little son. And the sisters, oh, he's scared of women. Huh? And I had to prove that I wasn't scared. Then pop, I got children. See, that environment, if you weak, it'll get you. The people in your environment will get you. You worry about them when you should be concerned about Allah. If I'd have listened to my mother in that aspect, I would not have had the children. And I would not have had a lot of the trials that I received through their mothers who weren't right. At least my first one. My second one, I listened to my mother because I didn't listen the first time, and she steered me to a demon. So I was damned when I didn't, and I was damned when I did. But the thing about it is the blame is not on my mother. The onus is on me because I had a mind and I didn't utilize it in the proper manner. But by the time my children, before they came, I knew what the deal was. I said, I've messed up because I'm not right with Allah at this time, and the mothers are not right with Allah. So the children can't be right with Allah when they come. And you ever known people that actually try to change the root of a person after they're born? How you going to change the root of a person after they're born? You can't change the root of that person. You have to kill that person to change the root of it. That's why Jesus said you have to die and be reborn again if you want to be holy unto the Lord. Because the Lord will kill you and bring you back to life. He will kill you at the root of all your faults and reseed you, replant you in holiness. Take away all what you grew up in fault and evil and remake you. Now, men and women try to act like they got that going on when they don't. So many of them. Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm holy. Oh, he's divine. Get out of here. If the Lord haven't taken you unto itself in the light of Christ, which the Christians call the light of Christ, or the light of Nur, or bringing you into the Ramadan of Muhammad, then what are you talking about? You haven't been purified in holiness. How you going to claim to be of that? That's part of your cover. That's part of your falsehood, your facade. Because you know the real deal about you that's hidden underneath that cover. And you got a son or a daughter 15, 20 years old, and you mad, you upset because they won't submit. Was you submitting when that seed was planted? Was you honest? Are they following in the ways of their father and mother? Or did they make a new way for themselves? Have you forgot where you were at that time? See, I look back at my older children and I don't blame them. I blame me and their mothers. That's why I don't curse my children. I step back and if anything, I say to myself, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't say it to them because they wouldn't understand it. They're looking to blame somebody for their faults anyway. But I've given them the best that I can give them in terms of what Ahezaah has given me to give them throughout their life. And for me or their mother, one of us was knucklehead down all the way because they would not submit. They could see the sky falling down on them. And they would say, oh, heaven's just closer to me. And they'll stand there and wait till the storm take them out. And they choose the ways of the people of the world and curse me because somebody who raised them on the other side couldn't stand me, couldn't stand the fact that I changed, back to what I was born in, under the seed I was born in, and getting away from the influences of the world to come unto Allah. So people hated it, so they gave my children false information about me. So I can't blame them, not even for taking the false information, because I wasn't right during the time they were born. Now I look at children in this community and people have put the cover over themselves and they walked around here for 10 to 30 years and acted like they were really with me and really with Ahezaah. But I see the fruit they bear. I see the fruit they bear. And I know them by that fruit. And I said, aha, told you. Told you. Because if somebody is not right, they're not going to be right. If somebody is right, they're going to have a chance to be right. We have some who are right and most who have gone wrong. Now, what our children need to be told in this community, those who have gone astray, you need to emphasize to them that they can come back. It isn't the end for them. Because I know that the truths that they have received through me from Ahezaah has been very heavy, and they may think, that's it, it's over for me because I've crossed Ahezaah. But I would tell them, if I were you, you can come back. There's forgiveness for you. But don't come back in the way that you left. Don't come back in the way that I was, because your children have seen you under your cover. But come back right in the way that I wished I could have been and could have shown you throughout your life. One thing about your seeds, they are true to you. Your children are true to you. And when I say true to you, I'm not saying they will come and tell you the truth, because they may not ever tell you the truth. But they will act in true reaction to you. Whatever you do, they will act in true reaction to you, because they're your children. You might want to ignore what you do. You might want to shut down and try to act like you don't do what you do with them or have done with them. Curse somebody when they point it out. Kill them, fight them, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, they react true with you. Now, I had a daughter who cursed me out once. I think she was about 22. How old was she? 18? 18. And I have been waiting for 5 years for her to do this. Ever since she was 13, I knew she was going to do it. When she turned 18, she said, listen, MFA, I am a goddamn woman, and blah, 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 and you ain't shit, and blah, 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 blah. And she went off, and I took it. She acted like I was a street nigga. And she said, and you was never there for me. Now people have told her that I wasn't there, even though she knew I was there. And she seen her mother fall like a sack of bricks in life. She wanted to blame me for her mother's failings and join the other people because I chose Allah and they chose the world. So they hating, but they looking for anything, any little knife and arrow to throw at me to take me down because I choose the way of the righteous. And I had explained all this to my children. But she cursed me out like a champ. And I smiled, and my children at home was angry. And they said, what you gonna do? I said, nothing. They said, you're not gonna do anything there? I said, no. I said, and if you did the same thing, I wouldn't do nothing. They said, you're not gonna call her? I said, if it be 1,000 years of life for me, I will never call her again. I said, I'm doing nothing. I knew my daughter. She wasn't being true in her reaction to me. She was being false. And by me not talking to her anymore, killed her. After a year, she called back. She come crying. She started confessing, you was always there for me, and started telling me stuff that me and my wife that we had forgot. All the things we did for her, throughout the time we had been together, these 22 years, 23 years or whatever, she brought all that stuff out, how good her stepmother's been to her, but I expected you to call at least. I said, I know you did. She said, Daddy, I suffered so much. I said, but you cursed me out. Did it feel good? I know it felt good in the moment, didn't it? I said, but I was disappointed with you. I knew you was going to do that, and I was disappointed. See, I was true to myself. Therefore, I knew what was in her. And I knew what she was going to do when she got older. I knew what the other ones were going to do. I'm not surprised about any of my children. I'm not shocked about them because I know what was in me when they were conceived. And I know what was in their mothers to a large degree, not completely, but to a large degree. What we shared, I knew what we were sharing. Therefore, I could see that in my children because they are the fruit that we bear. So, you think about it. You're the fruit your parents bore, and your children are the fruit that you bore. And if things go wrong, look at yourself first. Stop looking at them, cursing them. We live in a bad time, in a bad society where everybody trying to strip us of our nature and turn us inside out and backwards. And we get so weak, we fall down to the things of the world and ignore what Allah sent down in His holy books since the time of Adam. Ignore it all. Take the little that we want and twist it for ourselves, and then walk around and try to act like with this cover on that we really doing the right thing. And when the right thing come up to your mind to do outside the cover, you snatch it and put it back under the cover. Say, wow, I ain't ready to do that, because if I do that, I'm gonna have to do this, that, and the other. I'm gonna have to do everything and take this cover off. When you should strip the cover off yourself. But you're such a punk. Cowards. Refuse to strip the cover off yourself for fear of what the things of the world gonna do to you. You gotta strip the cover off, man. And to thy own self be true, but most of all to thy Lord be true. To the master of all creation, of all worlds, be true. I know it's scary. Just like going out to a gunfight butt naked with no guns. That's that 30-minute thing. If you don't have faith in the Lord, you're going to be there shivering. But if you have faith in the Lord, true faith in the Lord, you'll go out there and you'll take you a gun from somebody and do what you got to do, or you're going to get into the battle. But regardless of what you do, the people going to say you're crazy for being out there naked. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. Well, I'm going to have to say goodbye to my New York audience, but tune in next week, get the rest of the show, the half hour that's coming on, because I'm going to continue on. We love you, and thank you for tuning in.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight? Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed